Alright, back for pack number 3, and we opened a Thragtusk, which is a fantastic card. I'll happily take it. Sort of defers the decision of whether or not we need to go back into our red deck a little bit longer. But yeah, pretty easy pick. Also of note, Thornscape Battlemage is quite good in the red deck if we want to go back down that road. Harmonize is pretty good, Vital Splicer is good, and some stuff that's just fine, but nothing else exciting, but pretty easy Thragtusk. Putrefy is quite good. Could take that. We're already looking at splashing black anyway. And we don't have any great removal at the moment, just the Arachnus Web, I believe. Yep, looks like it. And I guess Gideon's Lawkeeper's removal, quote unquote. What else is good in this pack? Unflinching Courage is good. We don't have that many big creatures at the moment. We've got a couple 3/3s. Slime Molding, I guess, but yeah, Unflinching Courage is quite strong, but I think Putrefy is just better. Yeah. Another Lingering Souls, don't mind if I do. So now I am definitely going to be prioritizing fixing, because it looks like we know what we want to do. Another Aether Toe in this pack. Hopefully we get like one of those. It looks like they're going to be really good in our deck. We have lots of ways to make multiple 1/1 bodies. Wow, Scavenging Ooze, that's a nice gift. Well, we know green's open at the very least. No relevant fixing in this pack anyway. So yeah, pretty easy. Now we've got another Eyes in the Skies, or the first copy of Aether Toe, which is probably going to be my pick, just because we're going to need some more removal. We only have Arachnus Web, Putrefy, Lawkeeper, and that's it for removal, so I like this pick. Avacyn's Pilgrim's good. Oh, we need the Sylvan Ranger though. I do think Pilgrim is better usually, but we are very light on fixing at the moment, and we're kind of relying on black with the Lingering Souls, the Noble, and the Putrefy. So, yep, I'll take the Ranger. We're looking okay at the moment. Our deck has some power at least. We got the Thragtusk, the Scavenging Ooze, so we know we can win games at the very least. Can I play the Simic Sky Swallower is the question. What does our blue fixing look like? We have a Dimir Guildgate, which we could play. Boros Signet's not relevant for us. Rakdos Signet. No, we don't want red. So all of our red fixing is worthless to us. But I mean, what would we even take if this wasn't here? Germination is not good in our deck because we have lots of tokens. This might be wrong. I should probably just take like Arachnus Web, but I feel like our deck needs the power now. Another irrelevant mana fixing. Could take another Falconwrath Noble, but our mana is starting to get a little bit sketchy. Youthful Knight is fine. We're a little bit... I could go for another 2-drop, but I don't know. I feel like our deck wants the power. I don't want another Aether Toe, I don't think. I'm probably going to play the second Noble. It is quite strong. Slaughterhorn, I guess. Maybe I'd rather have the first Lone Missionary, even though I don't like the card. I mean, we've got a decent amount of life gain already. We've got the Centaur Healer, the Ooze, and the Thragtusk, so I probably just don't want it. I don't think I want Slaughterhorn either, but it's more likely to make the cut. We don't have any ways to blink our guys, right? Doesn't look like it, so whatever. I'll just take the Slaughterhorn. Man, red was open again. That's interesting. Guess I'll take another Attended Knight. Don't know how many I'm going to end up playing. But it does make multiple bodies, so it seems fine. Maybe I'd rather just have access to the second Aether Toe. Nothing great here. Bone Splinters. I mean, Bone Splinters is good if we can cast it. We have lots of expendable bodies, so might as well. Sure. Irrelevant fixing once again. Seal for the sideboard. Okay. Could play this, I guess. Ooh, a Simic Guildgate. That makes it more likely for us to play our Sky Swallower. So we're going to have to make some decisions about our deck here. I think I can cut this Might of Old Krosa. I have to decide how heavy into black I want to be, how aggressive I want to be, and whether I want to play the Sky Swallower. Those all kind of interweave into one issue. So the cool thing is this Dimir Guildgate kind of works towards both of our splashes because it taps for black and for blue. Let's do this first. Separate like this. Call the Conclaves a creature. Oop, that was weird. Come on, Magic Online, work with me here. Lingering Souls are creatures. Eyes in the Skies are creatures. Slime Moldings are creatures. So we have lots of creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 20 creatures. We can probably afford to shave 1 or 2. Hungry Spriggan looks pretty obvious as the first one to go. So this is 24. So we could play this with 16 land plus the double ranger. It's like 18 quote-unquote mana sources, which is pretty good. But I think I could go for 17 land. We've got a couple mana sinks in the Slime Molding. We've got a 7-drop. We have the Scavenging Ooze. These Lingering Souls are like pseudo mana sink. You can consider them like 5-drops kind of. Well, let's figure out our mana first, and then we can decide what our last cut is. Assuming we want to play all of these off-color cards, what would our mana look like? We would need... Let's see, these red fixers don't do anything. I'm just making sure I'm not missing any mana fixtures in the sideboard. I don't want to play Sundering Growth. Don't want to play second Aether Toe. I feel good with the removal suite we have right now, I think. 4 removal spells is pretty good. So how many swamps would I need? Double Sylvan Ranger plus Dimir Guildgate. Probably want like 3 swamps minimum. So let's see what that does. 3 swamp, 1 island. Oh, this is a pretty good suggestion. Let's see what this does. It's only 16 land. Let's combine groups to make it a little easier. White sources, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is definitely not enough. We need at least 7. So we'll add another plains. We'll add 2 more plains, see what that does. I feel pretty good about white if that's what we got. We don't have any double white cards. We've got the 2 Sylvan Rangers to fix for white if we need it. In fact, I could justify going down to 6 if I absolutely had to. Green I'm more concerned about. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Need at least 2 more of those. 20 lands, so we have to cut 3. So we could cut a swamp, a plains. So that brings me down to 1, 2, 3 black sources plus the 2 Sylvan Rangers. It's a little sketchy. I'm looking at the Sky Swallower and thinking it might not be worth it. I mean, it only costs us the island, really. So it's like close to free. Besides the fact that we're skimping on our other colors, so it is kind of a cost. We could play 18 land. Do we have any way to filter out and like mitigate mana flood? Not really. We don't have any card advantage or anything, which is kind of awkward. I could cut Rootborn Defenses. What do we have that makes tokens? Like worthwhile tokens to copy. We've got the Call of Conclave. We've got the Vital Splicer and Slime Moldings. Probably don't need this. We've also got the Eyes in the Skies that can populate. It's probably fine. I don't want to go too deep on populate and risk like having this only make a 1/1 or whatever. So now we need to cut 1 card. I'd like to cut a land if we can get our mana situation in a good place. If we had like 1 more mana fixer, I'd be happy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not going to cut a green. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not going to cut a white. So, I mean, that leaves like a black or a blue. I mean, I could go down to 7 green. It's a little bit sketchy, but I guess the Scavenging Ooze is the one thing that wants us to have multiple green. Other than that, everything else is just single green. So if I go down to 7 green, it's very sketchy, but I mean, that makes everything else work. If we can just draw our first green source, you know, everything else should be good to go. This mana base is very, very greedy, I'm not going to lie. But I think it is passable. and that's the best we can hope for. The other option would just be to forego like the Sky Swallower and some of these black cards and just go a little bit lighter on the splash, but we didn't come here to be consistent. We came here to be greedy and do sweet things, so I'm going to go ahead and submit this deck, and I will see you for round number 1.